You're okay, Divine, coming back with another quick message. Your enemies are so, they're childish. You know what's really funny to me? Especially as I get older. As I get older, I realize that a lot of people, they just get older. They don't grow up. A lot of people get older, but they don't grow up. And we got people in this world who are so stuck in their own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that they make up. There's a lot of this stuff that they feel and they believe. It's just a lot of bullshit, if I'm being honest. Like, when people see you, they automatically make up who you are. They make up a story about you in their head. Or even if they heard something about you, 9 times out of 10, that story really not true. And it's one-sided, because of course most people are always going to play the victim. They're always People will play the victim in a situation that they created, especially when they don't get their way. When you don't respond or react to them the way that they want you to, then they want to be the victim. Now it's like, it's like, but you're not the victim. You created the problem. And this is why they work so tirelessly trying to make you the problem. They have to make you the problem. They make you the problem because these people have no accountability. And these people are so chaotic that the idea of someone who doesn't want to engage with their bullshit, a person who isn't interested in, causing a scene, being belligerent, cursing people out, just acting a fool in public. The idea of someone not wanting to do that and having the discipline enough to do that doesn't make sense to them. This is why they keep trying to attack you. This is why, even though they talk about how much they don't like you, even though they've gone to everyone around them and told them that you ain't shit, that you ain't never gonna be shit, that, oh, well, she thinks that she's better than everybody. It's like, you ain't never said none of these things. These are literally things that they made up in their head. And a lot of this is based on their perception of you. And their perception is most people's perception of you is based on their own insecurities. If they see a confident person and they lack confidence, they'll say that you're arrogant because they can't fathom how you were able to come into this level of confidence. I'm going to do a video later on this week about they want to be like you, but they don't want to bear your cross. Because that's really what it is. These people see your confidence, they see what you're doing in this world, and instead of being inspired and saying like, wow, I can't believe that, somebody that looks like this, someone who came from this type of struggle, decided to, go and be something more than what people told them that they would be. But instead, they just decide to be haters and be jealous of you and act like you did something to them. And then have the nerve, like, when you confront them about some of the shit that they do to you, they try to turn it on you and make it seem like either you are incompetent, or they try to make it seem like you're bothering them because you're calling them out on their bullshit. It's like these people are cowards, really. These people are cowards, and they're insecure. You've got to be a very insecure person to bother with someone who is not bothering you. That's pure insecurity and pure envy, to say I want to destroy this person because I feel intimidated next to them. Their existence bothers me. And honestly, for a lot of y'all, the reason why a lot of people don't like y'all is because your existence exposes their mediocrity. A lot of people in this world choose to be mediocre. A lot of people possess great talents. a lot of people could be doing more with themselves. A lot of people could be, they really could put themselves out there if they really wanted to. But we got a lot of people who search for validation in other people. They want a whole bunch of people who don't really care about them to like them. So they're afraid of looking crazy. And I've said this before, like, you got to be okay with looking silly. Because the beginning stages of everything, I don't care what it is, the beginning stages of most things for most people, you're not going to be that great at it. Like, I mean, look at some of the Vera Wang. I heard that she didn't make her first wedding dress until she was like 40. Like, she was 40 when she did it. So imagine all the stuff that she was doing in her life before that. And probably when she decided that she was going to become a dressmaker, people probably told her like, you're 40. Why, like, you should have started that 20 years ago. And look at her now. I think she's in her 70s, so she looks great, and she's rich. God, I mean, everywhere. You know, they said that Dr. Seuss, I know people got some issues with him now, but you know, they said that he got rejected like 40, 50 times before he got a yes. So it's like, you gotta be okay with looking crazy and looking silly to people, and people laughing at you in the beginning stages of whatever it is that you're planning on doing. Because at the end of the day, the work behind it is going to show for itself. You just got to keep pushing and keep going. Because why, like I've been saying, like, the warfare is heavy, but the only reason why the warfare is getting heavier is because you are getting better. And it's showing, even if people don't know what it is that you do, even if you're not completely, like, you know, you haven't met all of your goals or whatever, people can see those blessings coming in for you, and they want to destroy them. They want to ruin them. They don't want you to have them, not because you don't deserve them, but because they don't feel like you should have them because they can't get it the same way that you did. But like I said, they want to be like you, but they don't want to bear your cross. They don't want to have to go through the things that you went through in order to get to the place that you're going, or the place that you're at right now. They don't want to have to go through that. They just want it to be handed to them, or they want to have an easier path. And it's like, the easy path is never going to get you to what it is that you truly want. Like, you know how people talk about the women who sleep their way to the top? And I put that in quotations because they exploit those people, but at the same time, that's something that some of them people choose. That's a different discussion. But like, for those people, you may get the house, the cars, you know, the clothes, the jewelry. You may get all of that, but it's like, at the end of the day, like, they spiritually stripped you, you know, at the end of the day. And those of you who are like abstinent or celibate, I'll do a video about the difference between those two later, by the way. If you're abstinent or celibate right now, you probably have gotten to that point where you realize, like, you can't keep putting yourself out there like that sexually with people and just having a bunch of like random sex or casual sex. Like, you know, like, you now understand like the spiritual part of that and how it strips you and how draining it is. And a lot of these people be trying to put these weird like spells on you. They be trying to have you coming back and begging for them. I had a dude do that to me last year, and it didn't work out, and he got mad. He got big mad about that, but that's a different story. But it's just, you know, you may get some of the stuff that you want trying to get it the easy way. But I've said this before, none of that stuff ever really lasts. Because I mean, just like, well, Judge Judy says, like, beauty fades, but dumb is forever. You know, if you utilize your looks, or, you know, whatever, to get what you need, you know, from people, that's going to run out at some point. At some point, you're not going to be as attractive. There's going to be someone younger than you. There's going to be someone more readily available than you. You know, like, that's not going to last forever. So it's like, when you put in that hard work, you are doing what you need to do. it's going to have longer lasting effects. But unfortunately for some people, like when we're on this journey, a lot of people don't like you seeing doing the right thing, because it exposes the things that they could be doing and all of the excuses that people make. There's a lot of people who make excuses all the time. They tell themselves that they can't do something. Well, I can't do this because I don't have time. Oh, well, I can't do this because I have kids. Oh, I can't do this because, well, I was never taught how to do X, Y, and Z. Oh, well, I can't do this because I don't have that. And, well, I don't have this, and I don't. All of those are excuses at this point. I feel like at this point, like in life, especially with the way that the internet is set up, anybody could have their own TikTok or YouTube or whatever sort of social media set up at this point. It's a matter of starting. It's a matter of starting. Like, it may not, whatever you're doing may not hit very quickly. You just gonna have to put some work in, but eventually the algorithm will pick up the people that it's supposed to, especially if you stay dedicated to it. Like my channel is still in its infancy, but I have like 700 views in less than 2 months, and I just think that's great. Like, I'm just glad that my stuff, I mean, and maybe these people may not be subscribers yet, but it's reaching people who are finding some value in it because they're viewing it. So it's like, for me, I'm like, well, that's enough for me to keep going. It's enough for me to keep doing this, because obviously we're in a time right now. I've been telling y'all, we're in a shift. We are in a shift. So the ones that aren't prepared, they're getting left behind right now. They're not gonna make it. A lot of them are not gonna make it through the next couple of years that we're going to have, because they refuse to wake up and see things for the way that they are, and not just on a global scale, but in their own lives. I keep telling y'all that a lot of people live their lives based on illusions. A lot of people keep telling themselves that this is as good as it gets. A lot of people keep telling themselves that they love themselves and they love their life, but they don't. Look at how they treat themselves. It's like certain people, like, they won't give up certain habits because it's comfortable for them, even though they know it's going to kill them, or they know it's going to have less money, or it's going to make them have less money in their pocket. They, instead of going and getting help and really trying to dedicate themselves to trying to be better, they make all these excuses. Like, if, like, people, for instance, like, I'll say Brittany, the Cosmic Intuitive Wifey. I love her channel, and I love how she talks about how she came up out of addiction, and she talks openly about it, and it's like, when you look at her and see how her channel has grown, it's she's got a lot of subscribers, and she's beautiful, and it's like, I would have not even, if she wouldn't have said that on her channel, I would have not even remotely thought to myself that she was down and out and on drugs at some point. Like, I would have never even thought that, looking at her, because she looks so great now, and so just like that, like, she put in that work. She put in the work to be better. She put in the work to put herself out there, and and like, she has a beautiful channel. And I hope she has a beautiful life outside of the internet. I hope she does, because I really enjoy her content. But it's just like that. Like, it's possible. It's possible to be better. I mean, like, for me, like, I know a lot of people. There's a lot of things I could talk about. There's a lot of things about myself that I have not been open about to a lot of different people, just because, people say, when they look at me, they say, like, oh, well, you look so innocent. It's like, I have a very dark past, okay? Like, I have a really, really dark past. And I was never, like, on drugs or anything, but I was a cigarette smoker for a really long time. I've been through a lot, okay? Like, I've been around things and done stuff with people that I'm not quite proud of, but it's like, I'm done with that stuff. I'm done being around people like that. I'm done supporting people's nonsense and things of that nature, and I'll get into those details later. Today's not the day for that video. But your enemies are just childish, y'all. I'm sorry, getting back on the subject. Like, they childish. They're childish because they want to make you they want to make you the problem, because they don't want to have to turn it around on them and say, you know, I'm bothering this person for no reason. They keep telling themselves in their head, like, no, this person is this, and no, this person is that. No, they're this, and I'm gonna prove it. That's why they keep attacking you, because they feel like they got something to prove about you. But that's just not true. And this is why your stillness is important. This is why becoming non-reactive is important to people's bullshit. Because it really turns the mirror back on them, and it shows them, like, this is not this person. This is you. These are your assumptions. Because honestly, a lot of these people, if they were really real, they would come up to you and ask you, like, I see your glow. I see your confidence. Like, how did you become this? How did you get to this point? If they really took their curiosity and actually asked you, some of these people would be surprised the stories that they would hear from you. Because I'm going to do a video later on this week as well about you don't look like what you've been through. Because when you turn your pain into power, it changes something in you. Those betrayals needed to happen so that you could be this person. You needed your heart broken by that person because you needed to become this person. You needed your family to turn their back on you so that you could be the person that you are. Like, no, it doesn't feel good. No, it's not picture perfect. No, it's not ideal. None of this feels good when it's happening. But then when you look at everything from how, and like 2020 really is hindsight. Like, you can see it for real. And you're like, you know what? It was supposed to be like this. Maybe the betrayals, it didn't have to be like this. It didn't have to happen the way it happened, but you needed to get away from them people. You needed that person to break your heart. You needed to learn that lesson. Some lessons are harder than others. And hopefully now that we have went through a lot of these harder lessons, we won't have to go through them again. Hopefully we won't keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. But unfortunately, our enemies, they keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again. And they want you to stay in that low vibrational shit. They want you to be just like them. They want you to be drama filled and hate filled just like them, because that would make them feel better about themselves. That's why they drag you into drama. That's why they hate your peace. They hate your peace because it, like I said, y'all go watch my video about, like, your stillness exposes their chaos. That it shows just how crazy and chaotic these people's lives truly are, and how they need drama to survive. They need drama. They need somebody to be upset. They need that. They need that energy. Don't give these people your energy just because they want to be assholes for no reason. Let them be an asshole over there. Tell them find somebody else to play with. I keep hearing T.I., and I'm a grown man, find somebody to play with. Like, for real, like, play with somebody else. Play with your mama, don't play with me. I'm not to be played with, okay? Like, I don't, and it's so crazy because I'm like, why do people feel like I'm the one? Like, they feel like I'm, and it's so crazy because I'll tell you this, if you're attractive or conventionally pretty or whatever, you know, however you want to put that, a lot of people will assume that you're beauty and no brains. They think that they really want to think that pretty people are dumb and dense. Just all out dumb. There's no way that you're smart. And then when they find out that you're smarter than them, when they find out that you're 10 steps ahead, when they find out that you already been peeped the shit that they was doing long before they put their shit into action, then they get upset. Then now they're confused. Now they're like, how did they know? How did they figure that? Then they're like, are they talking to somebody? Is there someone here that is giving them inside information? No, I just have discernment. I peep shit, but I don't say nothing. I see it, I put it in my pocket for later, and then when it comes up, I'm like, bingo, got him. Every time. And this is how you walk away successful from shit. When people when they are determined and destined to destroy you, you know, because I don't know about y'all, but you'll have people who will call their friends. They'll call their friends and be like, "Oh yeah, like there's this girl here, there's this guy here, and oh yeah, we're gonna get this one, and yeah, we're gonna get them. Yeah, so come on down and watch it happen." And then they friends come and they don't get the show that they want. Go watch my video about they wanted a show. I had a video about that too. They thought they was gonna get a show from you. They thought that you was gonna crumble and that you was, they want to ban you from places and all this other. Like they thought that's how crazy these people are. That they literally look at you and say like, "Yep, I'm gonna ruin this person." That is so diabolical. How crazy do you have to be to mess with somebody who's not even messing with you, who's not worried about you, that's minding their business? They hate that. I just made 2 videos about minding your business. Go watch those too. I said this message was gonna be quick. I'm sorry, y'all. But no, they childish. And you don't have to play they games. We are not 12 years old. This is not high school. I swear. A lot of these people, it's like high school all over again. I am too far away from it now. Okay? Too far removed. Okay? I'm not we're not 15 anymore. We don't have to go tit for tat. You don't have to. The thing is like they don't have to like you. Even though they don't have a reason not to like you, they can, it's your frequency. Go watch my video about it's not your personality, it's your frequency. Like it's not your personality, it's your frequency. They just don't understand how you vibrate so high, and they don't. And it's okay. They don't have to like you. They don't have a real reason why they don't like you. But it doesn't really matter. Let them sit over there and stew and they bullshit and they hate, because that's the only thing them people ever gonna be able to do. Because real growth, you're not even worried about what other people are doing. You not like, you gotta understand, like think about how awesome that you gotta be, that people are making it part of their day to come and fuck with you. They are going out of their way. They don't have to do this. They are going out of their way to fuck with you, to ruin your peace, because they feel like you shouldn't have it. That's power. That's real power. You have the power to change people's moods, and you don't even have to say a word. You just gotta show up. And the haters are already fuming before you even step in the building, because they can feel you coming. They're childish. They're childish. And it's like, especially these people in their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s, them be the people who really get me. Them be the ones that really get me, because it's like, you are way too old. You're way too old to be acting like this. You're way too old to be worrying about somebody. But then, like I said before, like these people are cowards, because most of them will throw stones and hide their hands. They'll do a whole bunch of stuff behind your back, and they'll send other people to go and do it. They'll send other people to go and do their dirty work because they're too afraid to do it themselves. Keep causing narcissistic injuries for these folks, because obviously that's what they're in for. Anytime they think they're gonna play with you, because it's like, I'm telling y'all, especially those of you who are chosen, they're warned. They are told, they are warned every time somebody thinks that they're gonna come for a chosen person, because whatever path that God has ordained for you is what you're supposed to be doing. And when you're in alignment with it, you will know. You will be told. And when you're not in alignment, you will be told. So when you're on your path and you're doing something specific, even if it don't make sense to you, because there's been some stuff that God has been asking me to do lately that don't make sense to me right now, but he's like, just do it. So I'm obedient. But you might be doing something and they be trying to get in your way, and they're warned like, leave that one alone. They're on assignment. Leave her alone. Leave him alone. And then they hear that voice in the back of their head, but they ignore it. And this is why a lot of them people be getting real bad karma after it's said and done. And you may not see it. We don't stick around to watch people get karma, because quite frankly, they was gonna get karma regardless, because energy flows like that. You can't send out bad energy, no matter, because they sending out bad energy everywhere. It's not just towards you, but they sending out bad energy everywhere. So that was gonna come back to them regardless, but especially because they mess with you, it's gonna come back and hit them harder than they thought. And like I said, they're warned. They are told to leave you alone, and they choose not to. It never ends well for those people. They're childish, and you just have to keep trying to push forward. I know, and I keep saying this in every video, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I know, and it's fucking annoying. It really is. It's annoying because it's like, bro, I'm just trying to live my life. I ain't fucking with y'all. I ain't bothering with y'all. I'm over here. You keep trying to come over here and bother with me for what? Because they don't want you to be great. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you down on your path, because you being on your path and doing what you're supposed to do exposes that they could be doing what they should be doing too. And they're not. And some people are just jealous because they just don't want you to have it. Like I said, some of y'all out here glowing, looking great. Even if you going through it, you still glowing. And they just don't understand it. They're like, how is this person like this? Or like, that's when they always have to find flaws in you. That's when they start pocket watching you. That's when they start, looking at the brand of clothes that you wear and what car you drive. And, then they start to pick at all of this frivolous shit that doesn't really matter. Like, oh, well, she's not married, but she has a kid. Oh, well, she has an older car. Oh, well, I have a better car than her. And it's just like, who cares about that shit? Like, I'm not even worried about that. I'm grateful for the stuff that I do have, because at one point I didn't have that shit at all. And I thank God for it every day. Every day I get in my car, I thank God for it, because I didn't have one for a while. I have, when I have my parenting time with my daughter, I thank God for every time I get to be with my baby, because even though I don't want to share custody with her father, it's like, I'm just grateful that I didn't lose custody, especially going through all the shit that I was going through. That was a strong possibility. So it's like, people hate that you're grateful and that you're happy with the little bit that you have, or that, you're happy with you. Like you're sad. Like, although yes, you're reaching for higher goals, but you're happy with what you do have. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people are always looking for the next best thing, and they neglect to be grateful for the things that they currently have, not even realizing that at one point they prayed to have that stuff that they have. I prayed for the stuff that I have right now. Things may not be perfect. Things definitely have not been going the way that I wanted them to go. That's for sure. But I'm grateful for what I do have. I'm thankful that I have the things that I do have. I'm thankful that I get to wake up every day and I get to pretty much have the freedom that I've been asking for. I go and eat what I want to eat. I'm trying to do better on that though, because eating out is expensive and also it's just not all that great for you. There's a lot of different stuff out here I need. Like, there's a lot of different stuff out here that just you gotta be careful with what you eat, what you're putting in your body. But I'm grateful that I get to get up and I get to make my content the way that I want to make my content. I'm grateful that I get to start setting stuff up the way that I want to set it up. And it's like, I prayed for that. I last year, I said to God, I was like, God, I don't want to keep working at this job. Like, when am I going to have the freedom to do what I want? And here I am. Here I am. Building, like, yeah, it's not easy. It's not. It doesn't always feel good. Some days I doubt myself. Some days I feel like I'm not gonna make it through. But it's like, no, I'm here for a reason. And you gotta keep pushing. And your haters are just proving everything that God has been telling you, that you're great. Because I keep saying this and I will always say it, thieves don't rob empty homes. Thieves don't rob empty homes. They want to be bothered by you, and they want to be fucking with you. They want to be focused on you so badly. If you weren't doing something that, if 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 it wasn't worth it, if it wasn't nothing, if you were really a nobody, people don't mess with nobodies. They do not mess with nobodies. When y'all on them jobs and them bosses keep coming after you, you keep getting snubbed for those promotions. They're doing that because they want to try to keep you lower than them. That's the only reason why. In your family, the only reason why you're the scapegoat is because you are the highly empathetic person that sees through all of the lies and the bullshit, and they don't want you to escape from that position because they benefit from your brokenness. That's why. You guys are far too great, and they know. They've seen it since you were a kid. These people have known since you were little babies that you were going to be something special. No matter what it is, I don't care what industry you go into, whatever your talents are, you're going to profit off of them one day. But the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you keep going. You cannot stop it. Yes, you might have to take a break. Yes, you may have to cry for a couple days. Like, I mean, there's been a couple days where I've sat in the bed and I've cried because it's just like, this is heavy. But you got to wipe them tears off your face. You got to get back up, drink some water, and keep going. Yes, it's going to be hard. The chosen path was never meant to be easy. If it was easy, then we wouldn't really work as hard as we do. Honestly, because you've always been a hard worker. This is going, I'm gonna try to end this soon, but you've always been a hard worker, and it's showing. And people don't want you to keep going forward. That's why I'm saying these people are childish. They keep coming up with different, and honestly, your enemies really keep doing the same thing over and over again. And it's like, they think that they're doing something new to bother you. They're not. But they keep coming up with all these different schemes and all these different plots thinking that it's going to work. And then when it falls through, then they look stupid. So keep making these motherfuckers look dumb. They're childish anyways. But that was my message, y'all. I'm sorry. This went longer than I wanted to. But it's your girl, K Divine. I love you. If you would like to donate to my channel, feel free to buy me a coffee. I'll put it down in the description below. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your day. It's your girl, K Divine. Bye.